What do bad times or raahukaal mean? Isn't there a good time for seeding a particular crop? Can you buy the shares during the war times? Yes, certainly there are times for doing things. It is a fact that the planetary positions indeed affect our works and results, apart from other things. For a more discussion on this, see my other video, Is Astrology Scientific? There are certain times and places for everything in the world. If you search for ice in a desert, will you be successful? If you hope for snowfall in the summer, will you be happy? These are not limited to just seasons, day and nights, but it is an undeniable fact that there are certain times for doing things, otherwise we will never succeed and fail to find happiness in the world, the Hinduism says. Bad times or raahukaal is a statistical concept. So, it will not harm all the people alike. The ancient Hindu sages had found this relationship between the time or the planetary positions and the effects of time on our life and other things on the earth. So, in the Vedas it has been mentioned that, the science of time or astrology or Jyotish, is the eye of the people. Unless we know what is a good time and what is a bad time, for doing certain thing, we can never succeed in life, the Hinduism stresses. The Hindu scriptures claim that, a person, who knows the astrology well, can lead a happy life without falling on the thorns of life, escaping or minimizing the problems easily. If you buy the shares, after studying the market, you will be profited, but if you invest during the bad or difficult times of the market, then you will be in troubles naturally. So, there are certain good and bad times that function in our life without doubt, the Hindu scriptures claim. Although each individual gets specific good and bad times during their lifetime, there are certain good and bad times that are applicable to all the people in general. For example, the Hindu astrology lauds certain times. For example, eclipse time is highly good for doing certain things, for all the people in general. There are certain bad times that come and go daily, and the Hindu astrology calls them as Rahukal and Yamagand. Rahukal is the main bad time that comes daily in the cycle of the time, governed by planet Rahu, the shadow planet or the Chayagra, in the Vedic astrology. This time of 1.5 hour is considered to be bad, in the Hindu astrology, and it also suggests that no good work should be done during this time of daily, and it falls on different times in a day, on each weekday. But, the present people argue that, I can do anything in Rahukal without getting any bad effect. It simply implies the lack of understanding of the concept of Rahukal, of the individual concerned with this statement. On the other hand, no time is bad to all and no time is good to all the people alike. The Hindu astrology says that, Rahukal or bad times, does not do harm to all the people alike, but in fact these bad times are good for certain people based upon their planetary positions in their birth horoscope and for doing certain things too, as everything is relative in the world, as the famous scientist Albert Einstein claims, in his theory of relativity. In fact, the concept of Rahukal or bad time is a statistical concept. So, the bad time or Rahukal might not do any harm to a particular individual on a given day, but, if it is applied on the whole universe of test or a group of people, then you can see that the Rahukal or bad time in fact is effective and bad. Time being relative, bad time or Rahukal is also relative. For example, if a single person goes on a drive during the Rahukal or bad times, then no harm might happen to him, but if a group of people are riding on the bikes on the Rahukal or bad times, then there will more accidents when compared against riding during the other times. The same time will be highly effective and good for doing certain things and really bad for others. A person who knows what to do and what not to on a given time, will get the success he desires, the others will fail and would repent later. On the other hand, good time, does not imply that it is good for all. The Hindu astrology stresses that, there will be less number of calamities during that time, and it does not imply lack of danger during the good time. Again, this is statistical in nature. Out of the 100 people riding on the bikes, if the accidents or calamities during the Rahukal or bad times, for example, are 10 in number, then the accidents in the other times will be only 2 or 3. This will happen, even if a single person goes on 100 different rides. This is due to the fact that the raahukaal or bad time is a statistical concept. It might fail if tested on a single person or single event or entity. For example, there is a concept called the half-life period in the nuclear chemistry. This says that the radioactive particles will die or disintegrate into other particles during this time. One type of matter particles will become other type of particles, but not all of them, exactly half of them. Each radioactive material like uranium, radium, thorium, plutonium, etc., has a different half-life period of its own. A particular type of carbon, an isotope of carbon, C14, has the half-life period of 5,760 years. This implies that, if 100 kilograms of the particular carbon C14 is kept today in a sealed container, after the half-life period, that is after 5,760 years, it will become only 50 kilograms of carbon. This concept is used in finding the age of the ancient objects by the archaeologists, often referred to as the carbon dating. According to this, if 100 particulars are kept, after the half-life period, 50 particles will die and only the other 50 will survive. But, if only a single particle is there, it might not die after the half-life period, as the half-life period is statistical in nature. It works only on a collection, but not at the individual level. The raahukaal or bad time, too, is such a statistical concept, applicable at the group level and not at the individual level. If you want, you could test the effects of raahukaal or bad time in your own life, and you could see it works, not on a single event, but on a group of your activities. Whether we agree or not, these are certain rules governing the world. If you follow them, you will succeed, otherwise you will fail and fall. So is it with time. Do you like this video? Please write your comments below and share this video on your social networks. Thank you for watching.